It's the Midday Show here on KEXP 90.3 FM. We're streaming all around the world at KEXP.org. And I'm talking to you from the live room. We have Miya Folick live on KEXP. I'm so excited to have you here. And she put out an amazing record this past October called Premonitions, and you're going to hear some of it. And she's playing Barboza tonight with Barry. And are we ready with some songs? .3 FM. You're listening to Miya Folick live on KEXP.
breathe in the road. rotten core of my heart. I crawl right into your arms again. I hate it all. I can't do this anymore. And I know it's gonna cost you love. And I know it's gonna cost you love. I can't watch myself this time. Hands over eyes, oh put this time. I won't pray for an inferior hope. And the beer I took for the beer I made stain my heart. I caved, I crawled right into your arms again. I hate it all. I can't do this anymore. And I know it's gonna cost you love. And I know it's gonna cost you love. La di da da, 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 Love myself this time. I might win the fight, and I know it's gonna cost your love, and I know it's gonna cost your love, and I know it's gonna cost your love. It's gonna cost us. I know it's gonna cost us.
My name is Abbie, and you're listening to The Midday Show live on KEXP. It's Miya Folick. It's sounding so great. I love this. And she's put out a couple EPs, Strange Darling, Give It To Me, and this past October, Premonitions, and I'm a huge fan. I'm really excited that you're here. And how are you doing?
Great. I was just saying that this is our first live radio band session ever.
Really?
So I'm very excited to be here.
Excited to be a part of it.
I feel like I'm in good hands. It sounds great.
Yay! It is. It's sounding amazing. And I just wanted to kind of dive into your journey from Strange Darling to Premonitions. How did you find yourself as a performer?
Oh, God. I mean, just played a bunch of shows. I think when I made Strange Darling, I hadn't played very many shows. I think I'd played like 3 or 4 shows in my life of my own music. And I made a very quiet and introverted EP that made sense for my bedroom. And then when I started playing live with the band, I realized I wanted something that felt more immediate and just a little bit more visceral and kind of a bit more dynamic through like the different emotions and a bit more extroverted. So that was kind of the journey.
And when did you find that immediacy?
I think it was pretty immediate.
Yeah.
Like once I started playing live, I realized, oh, okay, I want to have a show that isn't super cerebral and kind of shakes people up a little bit, isn't too abrasive, but I immediately was just like bored with quiet shows, though I love going to quiet shows.
Yeah.
I love going to just like really nice ambient shows. Not that I go out very much anymore, but
It's all good?
Yeah, that was kind of my thinking process.
And also, I read that when you initially started school, you went for acting, and I was like, "Oh, theater majors, what's up?" And,
were you?
Oh,
What?
yeah, I went for theater too.
All right.
And psychology. Who knows why? But I was just curious, like, when you were starting with acting, when did you gravitate towards music?
I always gravitated toward music as a kid. I started taking voice lessons when I was 9, and I was always very into singing. For some reason, it never dawned on me that I could write my own music and play with a band and be part of that world. I was like a choir nerd, and I think I enjoyed acting and singing equally, but in my very limited understanding of what you could do with voice, I was thinking like, okay, I can be a classical singer, which is how I was being trained, and do opera, which was never an option for me because I didn't practice enough. Or like teach or do musical theater. Like for some reason, it just didn't dawn on me that I could be in a band, and I don't know why. It just didn't. I didn't have an example. I think if I had known, then I would have done that. But instead, I went to school studying musical theater, and ended up dropping the theater part of it and just playing music eventually.
Awesome. Ended up dropping the theater part too. And when did you find your band? I read somewhere that it was maybe through some swiping. Was it? Is that true?
There was some swiping involved. So Bryant, who is playing bass right now, I made Strange Darling I was thinking about this recently, and kind of looking back on it, it's a crazy way to make an EP. Is that a friend told me you should get Logic and learn how to use Logic. So I got Logic. I learned how to use Logic, and I made a bunch of demos in my bedroom on Logic. And then at a certain point, I just thought, like, I want to record this live. This feels like something I should record in a studio. But I didn't know anybody. I wasn't in the music scene. So some guy I knew recommended this studio. I took one recommendation. I went to that studio. This guy, Mark Rains, has a studio in Echo Park. I got basically just anybody's recommendation. I didn't really try people out, just like found a guitarist. The bass player worked at the coffee shop that I went to every day. And so then I made the Strange Darling EP, and this very much like, whoever wants to play with me. And it turned out like to be the perfect people, but I would never do it that way again, just because too much risk involved. But when it was done, I wanted to play it live, and I wanted to get the right people, but I didn't really know very many musicians. And I realized, like, every musician in LA is on Tinder. And
for better or worse.
For better or worse. And, better for us because, I put up a profile that just said, like, my name's Miya, I'm looking for a band. Here's a link to my whatever, and Bryant saw it.
And now this is the longest, healthiest relationship I think any of us have been in. So.
Amazing.
Just years down the road.
That's great. Great use of an app, I think.
Yeah, I think it works better for band forming. We're actually on tour right now. The band that's coming with us on tour, called Barry from New York, I believe they found their bass player on Tinder as well.
That's awesome.
And it's not an uncommon story. I think it's, how do you access people when there are thousands of people in your city, and some of them play music, but where are they?
Indeed. Yeah, and then, but what's awesome is I feel with this record, Premonitions, that you're so good at accessing people through this. I I love this record because I feel like you build these situations that are so universal and that I can just quickly like inject myself into that situation and also just feel validated. Like
Well, maybe that's because you're an actor.
I don't know. Well, I was just saying, like, I really connected with, I just feel a lot of people right now connect with that track, Deadbody, like, just with situations of trauma. And also, there's just that line where it's like that sunny disposition that you like. And I'm just like, oh, she nailed it. And, I just really resonate with that. And, when you were creating this record, were you thinking, I just really want these situations to resonate with others?
Yeah, I think there was definitely an intention to make a record that felt a bit more universal and like broader in scope than my other two EPs, which I think are a bit more personal to me. Not that this record isn't personal, but I kind of intentionally opened things up. I wrote that song when all the Weinstein stuff was happening, and I was reading different articles, and I specifically read this Lupita Nyong'o article that she wrote about her experience, and I kind of based the song off that, with kind of the intention of like, if I, Miya, write a song inspired by the words of Lupita, then it kind of automatically makes it more universal because it's two people's experience. It's mine and it's hers. And instead of just writing a song about my experience, somehow I felt like that opened the door for it to be more universal by like and it's very loosely based on the article, but like the line, you poured me Coke and vodka. I'm pretty sure that's the drink that he poured for her and asked her to drink it and, kind of demanded that she drink it. So anyway, I can't remember what the question was. So it is intentionally more universal.
And what do you like most? What did you learn most about yourself making this record?
Oh, God. I think I learned what I want to do on my next record, which is, I just feel like I'm naturally like, okay, what's next? That's kind of that's my disposition. And I think I think that's basically it. I'm like, I kind of know what I want to do next. I know what I like about this record. I do know that I really like to collaborate, and that this is the first record that is kind of like a true collaboration between many people, and I like that process a lot.
It's a good one. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in today. And I know you have a couple more songs with us, but hey, just everyone, let you know if you're in Seattle, Miya Folick is playing tonight at Barboza with Barry. And then also shout out to my Midwest homies in St. Paul, Minnesota. And they're playing the Turf Club on February 22nd. And Miya has a couple more songs for us. I'll let you take it away.
It's my sunny disposition that you like. You poured me Coke and vodka, drink it, baby, nice. And you knew you would get away, so you didn't try to. I watched them shake your hand, they're all beady, your laughter cut my mind. Don't want your money for my silence, I don't care who knows your name. Don't tell your friends that I'm lying to convince them I'm insane.
Miya Folick live on KEXP 90.3 FM. Make sure to catch them tonight at Barboza playing with Barry. And you have one more song for us?
Yeah. The song's called Thingamajig.
Grow in time. Feel my love. Your plastic bones are mine. If you wanna be angry, I don't mind. I'll let you go. If you wanna be angry, I don't mind. I'll leave you alone. I'm sorry. I know I'm wrong. So take it all. I wanna be out of control. So take it all. I wanna be out of control. I am smiling wide. I'm the reason the sky is blue. Careful design was poured into me, poured into you. If you wanna be angry, I don't mind. I'll let you go. If you wanna be angry, I don't mind. I'll leave you alone. I'm sorry. I know I'm wrong. So take it all. I wanna be out of control. So take it all. I wanna be out of control. Only you know what to do now. Only you know what to do. Only you know what to do now. Only you know what to do.
Miya Folick live on KEXP. Amazing. Incredible. Thank you all for coming in today. Mia's going to be playing tonight at Barboza with Barry and then traveling to the Midwest to play the Turf Club in St. Paul, Minnesota on the 22nd. And please check out her amazing album, Premonitions. It's a beautiful record, and also those EPs too, Strange Darling and Give It To Me. I'm a big fan, as you can tell.
Thank you very much.
It's been Miya Folick here on the Midday Show on KEXP 90. 90.3. Oh, and a quick thank you to our video team. We have Jim, Justin, Scott, and Niffer on photos, Kevin, Matt, Mandy, Elaine. Thank you guys all for making these in-studios possible, and we couldn't do it without you, our listeners. Thank you so much for your support. It's KEXP 90.3 FM.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.